USC versus Michigan. All offseason, I heard a lot of people chirping about how USC isn't ready for the physical brand of football that's going to be played in the Big Ten. Well, we're about to find out if all of the doubters and the haters were right about USC, because they're going up against Michigan. And Michigan, they haven't really looked too hot these last couple of weeks, man. They got quarterback issues. They don't have the ability to throw the football. And if USC is the soft West Coast team that a lot of the Big Ten fanboys have been making them out to be, then you would think that Michigan is going to win this game just running the football at will, but I don't believe that's going to happen. And it's unrealistic to see that happening, even if you are a Michigan fan. What made Michigan so good last year wasn't their run game necessarily. It was their ability to play complementary football, being able to run the football and throw the football when need be. They can't do that this year. Davis Warren just got benched. The dude threw 3 interceptions against Arkansas State. Now you're throwing out Alex Orji, and we also don't know if this dude can throw the football. And Michigan also doesn't have a lot of good receivers. As a matter of fact, their best reliable option in the passing game is their tight end, Colson Loveland. If Michigan is going to win this game, you got to be able to dominate on early downs. First and second down, you at least need to get 6-7 yards to put yourself in third and manageable situations, because if you find yourself in third and long, then USC is going to have the advantage of being able to tee off and just get after whoever you got back there at quarterback. And this is not the same USC defense that you've seen the last couple of years under Lincoln Riley. Alex Grinch is gone. You got Deanna Lynn back there, and Deanna Lynn is a really good defensive coordinator. As a matter of fact, he probably is one of the best defensive coordinators in the country because he runs an NFL-style defense. His father, DeAnthony Lynn, was the former head coach for the LA Chargers. Deanna Lynn has spent a lot of time with the Baltimore Ravens. This is an aggressive defense. And if Michigan doesn't get good quarterback play and they think they're just about to ground and pound their way to a win, they're about to get a rude awakening when they play the Trojans in this game, because the Trojans are not a finesse team. They're not soft. This is a physical team now. They can get right with you in the trenches. Michigan's offensive line has regressed. They're not as good as what they've been in years past. You got a USC defensive line that gained a combined total of over 340 total pounds throughout this offseason. This is a team that, if Michigan wants to get physical, they want to test that run defense, they're just about to find out that the Trojans are legit. You know, beating LSU, a lot of Michigan fans have been trying to tell me that LSU is overrated. Well, how do we know if you're not overrated? You got blown the hell out at home by Texas. And that Texas offense, you know, looks exactly similar to the offense that Lincoln Riley's going to be throwing out there. They got a really good offensive line. Have you seen their left tackle? That dude's going to be playing on Sundays. That dude is a mammoth of a left tackle. And Lincoln Riley has always had really productive rushing attacks, and they got a lot of talent on the perimeter. Michigan hasn't seen a wide receiver as dynamic as what a Zachariah Branch is. And you haven't seen a team that has this kind of depth at receiver since you played Texas or Ohio State last year. Now, for USC, you don't want to find yourself getting down early in this game, because if you allow the people in the big house to get into it, then it's going to make things extremely difficult for you offensively when it comes to the communication. And plus, Miller Moss, you know, he's never played in a road environment like this. You know, playing in Ann Arbor, it's a completely different animal, which is why it's important that USC comes out early and they just set the tone fast. Same thing that Texas did. Like, Texas got out to a fast start early, and they just completely took the crowd out of it. That's what USC has to do. Don't allow the home crowd to get into it, because then Michigan's going to be able to feed off that. But Michigan, you know, you have to do way more things to win this game than what USC does, because to be quite frank with you, USC is the better team than what you are right now. You aren't balanced. You don't have the ability to throw the football. And in today's age of college football, if you just plan on being a run-heavy team and you can't just get a little bit of production out of the passing game, then you're handcuffing yourself in every game that you play. USC is unlike any other Big Ten team that you're going to face off against this year. They're not Illinois. They're not a team that doesn't have the ability to spread you out. Wayne Martindale is a really good defensive coordinator, but Lincoln Riley is probably the best offensive mind in the sport. And if your offense can't be efficient and they keep going 3 and out, they can't sustain drives to turn the football over, then your defense is going to be put at a disadvantage because USC is going to have short fields to work with, which is going to tire out your defense a lot faster. Plus, your defense is going to be on the field for way more plays than what they need to be. Michigan really has to find a way to be able to get some productivity out of their passing attack. I don't know how they're going to do it because Davis Warren can't throw. Alex Orji can't throw. You really are going to have a difficult time running this football against this USC front. I promise you, this is not the USC defense that you've seen in years past. You know, I was really confused when I saw a Michigan fan in the comment section try to tell me that USC be the overrated LSU team. I don't even think you would be able to beat LSU. You got clobbered by Texas. You can't throw the football at all. Even when you played against inferior competition, Arkansas State, Fresno State, you struggled to throw the football in those games, which is why I'm taking USC to get the win, and I think that USC dominates in this game. I got them winning 34-17 is my final score prediction, and I only think Michigan scores 17 once we get into the fourth quarter in this garbage time, and USC is up 34-7. Because it's hard to win a lot of games against teams that have good offenses when you don't have the ability to throw the football. Regardless of how effective your rushing attack is, you still have to be balanced, and you don't have the ability to do so because you have huge concerns at quarterback. Your quarterback play has been abysmal up to this point in the season. There's no reason to think that that's going to change. And you also don't have the weapons at receiver that help your quarterbacks out. These guys struggle to get off the line. They struggle to create separation. You see, where I would be concerned about USC in this game is if this does end up becoming a one-possession game in the fourth quarter. If USC doesn't at least have a 2-possession lead going into the fourth, I would be extremely concerned because then you're still going to allow Michigan to be relying on that ground game. But if you get Michigan down early, then they have to completely abandon the run and they got to throw the football to get back into the game. And that's not the way that Michigan wants to play ball. They want to be able to run the football down your throat and only throw the football when necessary. But you can minimize that early if you get out to a fast start, which I believe USC is going to do. I expect this game to go the same way that Texas game did. It's not really about if Texas is that good, because I don't think Texas got tested against you. And you can call it being disrespectful all you want to, but when you have no quarterback play and you can't throw the football, it's not that hard to beat you. As good as what Texas is, I really think that their win against you is being heavily overrated because you're not that good of a team. I know that you're probably going to be pissed off to hear that. If you're a Michigan fan, you're going to come up with all these excuses, but you haven't looked good in any of the games that you won this year against inferior competition. And when you're going up against a team that you know is going to have a solid offense and you don't have the ability to throw the football, how can you possibly expect to win a game like this when you're going up against a defensive coordinator that most people are going to have on the list of head coaching candidates at the end of this season? For all you Big Ten fanboys that were saying that USC was going to get exposed by the Big Ten, they were too soft, they weren't going to be able to handle the physicality of this conference, USC is about to prove why a lot of you guys were really wrong about them and why you guys aren't as good as a conference as what you think. This is a conference that's all about bully ball, but nobody really has a dynamic offense as what Lincoln Riley is about to show you in this game. And I can't wait. I really can't. I've been telling y'all all this offseason what was going to happen, and USC beat LSU. They blew out whoever. I think they played Utah State in week 2. You know, Michigan hasn't really dominated anybody. They struggled in a lot of their games because of how inept they've been throwing the football. USC is about to roll in this game, and they're about to make a statement to the Big Ten that, hey, We're here. We're not this soft team from the West Coast that you thought we were. We're physical too. We got the ability to play a physical brand of football. We got the ability to run the football if we want to. We got the ability to slow down your run game if we want to as well. You know, we can play defense too this year. For all you Big Ten fanboys, this is the game where you find out that these boys from the West Coast aren't as soft as what you thought. USC is about to dominate Michigan, and the Wolverines are once again about to get embarrassed in the Big House. USC is about to come into their trap and take over their trap and walk out with a W. Meanwhile, Michigan is still going to find themselves searching for answers.